Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and we're on Sunday stitching. So, as promised, here is my finished little reticule. It's all lined. Oh, there's a bit of fluff in there, and it's been turned over to come down. That's the end of my handle with my beads, and that's the additional rows that I put on that bald spot. So there you go, it's all done. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet, so for now I'm just going to hang it over the side of my computer. Okay, I promised you a new project. Well, I haven't made a start yet on my March Kate in the Nest, so I thought what I'd do is I'd make a rice bag to go just there to put my bits and pieces in on my desk. So I've cut the base and 1, 2, 3, 4 sides from an old flannelette brushed cotton bed sheet, and as you can see it's double, and just in case you want to work along, it's basically 7 by 7, and I folded it to give me a nice finish at the top. Okay, now if you wanted to put a drawstring in like a traditional rice bag, then all I've done is look, put my ruler on the edge and draw on the line, and if you did that on all of them you could feed through there. It's an erased little pen, it's fine. But then I've also started to add some lines for quilting, because I want to quilt 2 of mine and have a picture element on the other 2. So the song for this month's inspiration was Memories, the song from Cats, the musical. And the only thing I can think of every time I think about the song is All Alone in the Moonlight. It's all I can think of. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do 2 sides that have got this like quilting on. So as you can see, I'm just running either side of my ruler. That way I know that my gaps are exactly the same. And then I'm going to stitch down all my lines. Okay, so as you saw, I'd already done, as it were, right to left. Sorry, left to right. And I'm now doing right to left. Okay, so I'm just going to run a stitch down there across all them lines, and I'll very probably put a bead on each of the joins just to make it super sexy. I won't waste your time drawing up those 2, and obviously you only need to draw it up, actually one of those, you only need to draw it up on one side. And then I've got this brushed cotton fabric. It's very way out, it's not something I would ever really use, so I decided this would be a perfect job for it. So I'm just ripping it down because I've made it a bit too big. I'm going to take a little bit off that side as well, and oh, maybe not. Okay, we're going to have to cut that, and as you can see, definitely not cut it straight, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use that, it's obviously not wadding, but I'm just going to use that to add a bit of weight to what I'm doing. And I'm only doing it on the 2 that I've done this stitching on. So we're going to take a pin, . couple of pins, and we're just going to pin it all together. Okay. And we're going to stitch that in a minute. But also what I've got is a couple of pieces of coffee dyed cotton bed sheet. And the reason I've got these is because I thought what might be nice is if I use this stencil, I can create, or I think I can create, a moon. So I'm going to lay it on my fabric like so. I'm going to get my black. Do I want black? No, I've got black ink, but actually, oh dear, decisions. I'm wondering whether to go, yeah, I'm going to go with the coffee because of the coffee dyed fabric. And I'm just going to run through this stencil, look, like this. Like the cheesy marks of a moon. That's my plan. And I'm going to do that twice because I'm going to have this picture on two sides, aren't I? So we're going to do it again. So, and this is non-water soluble, this ink, so it's nice permanent ink. Oh, that feels a little bit square. Let's bring that up as well. That's better. Okay, so now what I want to do is, oh, I've got these two bits of fabric. I need to find my pen again. There's my pen. Now, all alone in the moonlight, yeah? So, I'm going to take this. Oh, only just fits, doesn't it? And I'm going to draw around that. If you've got a stencil, brilliant. I haven't. There you go. And that is going to be my moonlight, or my moon. Not my moonlight, my moon. So then I'm going to do the other one here. See, slightly different, which is what I wanted. That's good. And then we're going to pull back the two sides or panels for our pictures. Am I going to put thickener in? I think I am. So pull that extra bit off. That fits in there. Okay. And then there. Okay. So I'm going to open that up. Put my little bit of extra weft in there. So it's a bit weighted, as it were. Yeah, it does feel completely different. It feels much better. Okay. I'm going to put that there. We're going to cut this out. Whoops. Now, if you had steamer seam or something like that, Bonder web, that would work perfectly for this. don't know if I've got any left. I did have some. I suppose I could have a little look, see. But anyway, so there's going to be my moon up there, like that. Oh, hang on. Bring yourself down a bit, Claire, to allow for seamage. Maybe even a little bit more. There we go. So there's my moon on side 1. Okay. And here is my centre coming in. It's got giant trouse on it. It's like camping fabric. I don't know why on earth I've got it. It's obviously being thrown out by somebody, and I thought, oh, brush cotton, that would be nice. Right. We'll open that up, pop that inside, come back down. They really have got some oomph about them now, which is nice. Cut this one out. Now, of course, it's Sunday the 30th, so this is technically the last Sunday of the month, and I'm only just starting. So I think this is going to be a little bit like the reticule. I'm going to do today with you. I'll do the rest as homework, and then when I come back next Sunday with a new project, because it'll be the April pouch, I'm just trying to decide whether I want my moon on the same side or whether I want it. Yeah, let's put it on the same side. I think it just makes sense, doesn't it? Right, I'll pin that in place. And I'll come back and show it to you finished, as it were. Because, yeah, it'll be the 6th, will it? The 6th of April? Goodness me. Anyway, now, my secret weapon for my pictures, and I'm only going to show you one. Okay, you have to wait for the second one. You can be busy guessing if you know what it is. So that's the second one, secret. You'll see it when it's finished. But look at this. Now this is a die cut of the Tim Holtz old jalopy die that I've had for literal years. I can't even begin to think how many years old this is, but it is. So I wonder, can you now guess what the other picture's going to be or not? And then we just put a little one on his roof, I think, to hold his roof down. So there you go. So what you see, you're going to see now on your box, I think you're getting the idea now, is you're going to have picture, quilting, and then a repeat, because picture, quilting, picture, secret, and then your other quilting, and then your base. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at doing this quilting, I think. So we need a nice needle, which I've got here, and we need to decide what colour we want. And I think what I'm probably going to be using is one of these lovely new variegated threads, and bearing in mind it's moonlight and all the shadows and things that cast, I think the perfect colour will be this one. It is a DMC number 53 and it's a size 8 pearl A, and as you can see you've got the bluey silvers, the silver white, and then this dark blue grey, and then it goes all the way through to, well, you know, dark, 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 and then back through again. So that's what I'm going to use. And I better not cut that much, had I, because you'll all be telling me off. So I'll cut it there. We'll do a knot and we'll start with our lines. So let's get this needle threaded. Also, I've now got to decide what colour beads I'm going to put on here. I don't want too big a bead, and I've used a lot of pearls lately, so I definitely don't want a pearl. I'll have to have a look in my bead box. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to start here on this first cross, just so that I'm in a little bit from the edge, and it'll get my knot hidden up inside. And then all I'm going to do is a really base running stitch. So in and out and in. You should know by now that everything I do is very simple. I don't do anything complicated. Taxes my brain, and I don't like that. So we're just going to feed in and out, trying to keep the stitches relatively even. And of course we will be ironing all these lines away, so that all you're going to see is the stitches. So and because we've got the 3 layers, it doesn't show much with one, but once you get a few in there, it starts to give you that sort of dimpled look of the quilting. So what are you all up to? My Just Because quilt is still in the background. I've got to be 100% honest and say I've not picked it up for a couple of weeks. It's so big now. It's quite cumbersome, and I am starting to realise why Corinne, you see I've just jumped up to that line. Corinne suggested doing a number of small panels. I was just concerned about the quilting, that she was quilting as she went. I suppose I could have done a number of small panels and then just quilted the whole thing at the end. I don't know. But anyway, it's done now. It's on the road. It's on, as it were. So then I'm going to go right to the top and then just move along to there. Okay, and come back down the other side. Give it a little tug, straighten it back out. Yeah, so my Just Because quilt is, I mean, I will obviously get it done. I've given myself the deadline of Christmas. I know originally we started in September, so it should be finished at the end of August. It might be, but I've given myself the deadline of Christmas to finish that one and the creamy coffee coloured one. So they'll get done. It's not a problem. And Kate was originally doing this project for 6 months. Now this is 3. We're just about, aren't we, to go into 4. And what have I got? I got oh, we did the one with the zip with a blue vase of flowers. We did the original one with, funny enough, the quilted beaded one on the flap. Oh, see, perhaps I do this a lot. But this is going to be in a rice bag version. So this one's got like no lid. Okay. I'm just going to do, because this is going to be in the seam, this area, it doesn't really matter that I've got that line going down. And I'm just going to come up there like that. And then I'm going to poke my needle through inside and come back up there like that. Okay. And we're going to feed backwards and forwards up here. And then you see we've got these 3 together. So yeah, that's where we're at really. We're just about to look at the cover for my new treasured page swap. That's due in by the end of the month so that we can use it in April. So of course that should be in this week. And then of course on the 1st of April, which is the end of the week, there'll be a new challenge to get made to send to my partner. So yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. I've also got something happening in the wings. I keep telling you about it. And it is, honestly, it's happening. As soon as I can, I'll give you more details. I was spending some time this morning going back through my old videos. I think when you've done quite a few videos, I mean there's people that have done hundreds more than I have, you start to forget what's out there. And I saw somebody doing a video early this morning. I think they did it a day or so ago. Right, there you go. So we've got all those 3. So then I'm just going to peek inside again to my next available line, as it were. So this is what I do when I'm quilting. So there. Okay. And then we go across this one. Yeah, this video flashed up on my feed. And I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Have a look at that. And as I was watching it, I was thinking, I'm sure I've done this. I'm sure I did this in a video. So that's when I started going through my videos going, am I a bit mad or did I actually do this? And yeah, I did. But then of course there's nothing new. There is nothing new. Everything has either been done before in this community or it's been adapted to this community from something vintage. Right, now I'm going to open this up get my fingers in, because I want, see, this is why I like a long thread. You all moan at me, but, and then I'm just gonna do a bit of a knot on the lining, if that makes sense. There we go. And then close that back up. Okay, we'll put our pin back in. So yeah, I don't think, unfortunately, where we are now in time, I don't think there's anything new anymore. It's all been done and then readjusted and re-altered, you know. But we do seem to settle on the things we love. Look at me, month 3, and I'm basically doing what I did in month 1. So these things are sent, you know, try us and all that. Right, let's start up on this little cross here. I don't know if you can hear the birds singing. The birds here are so happy. They've been singing away to me since about 5 o'clock this morning. I hope you can hear that. It's such a pretty noise. They're obviously super happy for the weather change. There we go. I need to put my thing on because my finger's getting sore. Okay. Okay. And then in and up to that top point. Then I'm going to feed down here. You can see, look, this side that hasn't got stitching on, you can see much better. So I'm rubbish at going in straight lines. If you can go in straight lines, that's absolutely fabulous and good on you, but I can't. You all know I can't cut straight, I can't draw straight, so why on earth would I be able to stitch straight? And I love that this variegated thread is really mixing up the colour lines on here. Oh, that's a giant one, Claire. Slow down. Do something a bit smaller. And it's funny how the darks have crossed there. That was not intentional. It's one of the things I love about using variegated thread. You get patterns that you didn't necessarily know you were going to get. And then I'm going to go through just that top layer and again come inside from my residue thread and then just go back down here. Okay. These are great. You can make these little cloth boxes I mean, I called it a rice bag because it was looking at one of the rice bags behind me this morning that, you know, was, oh yeah, it's a rice bag. But you can call it a box, you can call it whatever. I've got lots of them. I've got some really big ones that I made, that I've got books and vintage papers and things in. They just make great storage. So, and then back through, back up this line. I find this very, very therapeutic. Get rid of that pin actually, can't we? We're certainly not using that anymore. So, what have you all been watching? Anybody got anything great they're watching on TV? We're about to run out again. I recently watched that Hidden Figures film. I don't know if you know it. Right. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go all the way up here so I can get this nice long line in. Yeah, it's a great film about, well, basically getting men into space. If you haven't seen it, 3 African American women that, well, probably get told off for saying it, but basically ran the whole show, though nobody wanted to admit it. A fantastic film. I am not overly keen on films, if I'm honest, because it does require me to commit, you know, set amount of time. I much prefer a series where I can just dip in and out. It just suits my lifestyle better, really. I suppose that's where, of course, YouTube comes into its own, isn't it? Because it really is the perfect dipping in and out. You know, you can do 10-minute videos, half an hour videos, hour videos. Oops. And it really is down to your schedule. Okay. So you can see that's really sort of coming together now. See, even with the drawn lines, my lines are not really straight. It's just a bit of a joke, really. But hey ho, it's what I do. So then I'm just obviously going to go back through again, come back to that line. And work back down here. If you're a little bit more regimented and it suits you, then obviously you could do all of the left to right and turn it round and do all the right to left. I don't mind going up and down. It's a bit like a maze. Oh no, don't come out. We're not threading you again. Come on, behave. And I'm going to stop with this piece of thread so that the end gets you know, stitched into the seam. So there you go. I'm sure that's quite boring for you to watch, but you can see what it's going to look like. Yeah. So I put a couple of beads in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got a few cross points. We could put some beads in. Let's have a little look at what we got. Oh, so we got these fabulous gold ones. We've got those rosy multicoloured gold ones. I don't really want to use yellow, I don't think. Or we got, are they black or green? I think they're green. Yeah, they're black, so we don't want green. Haven't got many of the black because I've already done that one. And we got this sort of, oh, they're not even, they're crystal beads, so we don't want them because we like the flat ones. And then we got loads of those. Should we go with that one? Oh, that one. I think golden moonlight. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these is try not to throw them all over the desk, that's for sure. So go like that. I'm going to get some standard sewing cotton now. Get a knot in it. Oh no, don't put a knot in it, Claire. Don't put a knot in it. See, I'm not thinking straight. Thread it. Okay, I've threaded it. And then I'm going to do a quilter's knot because I want to get it inside, don't I? So, holding my needle on top of my thread, in case you don't know. 1, 2, 3. I'll put my finger through the loop and just pull it all the way down. And then you've got that little quilter's knot. Okay, and then if you go in and out, you should, yeah, no, I pulled it right through. It's because I'm doing my stitch too close, I think. Let's do this one first because yeah, it's not going to work. We're going to have to just do a standard knot, but normally you can, you know, just pull it through and bury it, which is great. But then I suppose the bead's going on top, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So, little stitch. Okay, and then pick up a bead. Yes, here's my bead. Just going to pull it nice and tight. And then I'm going in again. I'm going all the way down to that point there. There you go. Here's my little orange bead. Do a holding stitch and bring my next bead up. Ow. Super stab clip. That wasn't very clever, was it? Right, I'm starting to go a bit boss-eyed now. So it's probably time to turn you off and do my homework. And then when I come back next week, you'll be able to see it finished. And you'll also see the secret picture. There you go. So, I hope you found some joy and inspiration. Just to remind you, that's going to be panel number 1, and then panel number 2, panel number 3, and then the 4th one will be like that. I hope you found some joy and inspiration. As always, thank you so much for coming along and spending time with me today. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.